Have you ever looked into a pit bull's eyes and felt peace? You shouldn't, at least. Not if you listen to what the world says about them. They call them beast killers, walking genetic mistakes. But then, in silence, they rest their muzzle on your lap, close their eyes, and sleep. How can so much sweetness come from so much pain? To understand the pit bull, you need more than courage. You need empathy and a journey into the underbelly of human history, because this dog wasn't bred for affection. It was forged to bleed, a living tool, a short-haired gladiator, muscles taut, soul captive. Its birth wasn't a celebration, it was a decree. But something went wrong, or very right. Amidst clandestine fights and filthy arenas, a dog emerged that learned to love despite knowing only hatred, that protects with its life. Even though it was bred to take lives, how can loyalty be born from chaos today? We'll unravel the secrets of a lineage marked by iron, fire, and redemption. Stay with me until the end. We'll uncover the secret origin of the pit bull, understand how its past shaped its health, and most importantly, discover 10 essential commandments to honor the soul of this noble companion breed. Profile, classification, terrier group, bull type, origin, England, early 19th century. Original purpose, fighting in pits against bulls, bears, and other dogs. Average height, 43 to 53 centimeters, weight, 16 to 30 kilograms, depending on the lineage. Life expectancy, 12 to 14 years, build, medium, with dense musculature and a broad chest. Coat, short, shiny, with a variety of colors. Low maintenance. Original temperament, agile, tenacious, fearless condition for violence. Current temperament, affectionate, loyal, intelligent, deeply devoted to family. Distinctive feature, powerful jaws with wide bite, a symbol of both strength and controversy. Energy level, high, requires constant physical and mental stimulation. Health, generally robust but prone to hip dysplasia, heart issues, and skin conditions. Social status, a breed torn between the unconditional love of its guardians and deep-rooted social prejudice from decades of misuse. A profile that seems contradictory, an appearance that inspires fear, and a heart that cries out for justice. In the next section, we'll explore how and why this dog was shaped into a living weapon and who was pulling the strings behind the scenes. 19th century, England. The smell of blood was entertainment. The masses, fueled by bets and sadism, packed dirt-floored arenas. The spectacle, dogs thrown against bulls, literally, a practice known as bull baiting. But there was a problem. The dogs at the time, heavy, slow, weren't efficient enough for the sport. The profit needed to be faster, more brutal. So English breeders did the unthinkable. They took the strength of ancient bulldogs, dogs already used to subdue livestock, and crossed it with the fierce agility of terriers. The result was an explosive hybrid, the bull and terrier. Small, muscular, fearless, a dog that bit and didn't let go, that ignored pain, that fought to the death. And so, in the shadows of the British Empire, the ancestor of the pit bull was born, the key historical figure, James Hinks, a 19th century English breeder. He refined the lineage, giving rise to civilized variations, like the bull terrier, and directly influencing the spread of the pit type. For clandestine pit fights, when bull baiting was banned, dog fights took its place, more discreet, more cruel, and the pit bull thrived. Not by its own will, but because it was forcibly shaped to be efficient. But what few knew is that between each fight, these dogs were gentle with their trainers, loyal, obedient. It was as if, even in hell, their soul remained intact. If the true story behind your companion fascinates you, give this a like to support our investigation. United States, turn of the 20th century, British immigrants brought their fighting dogs with them. But in America, the bull and terriers found something unexpected: farms, children, families, and something even more powerful than the pits: publicity. The pit bull was adopted as a national symbol. Literally, during World War I, its image graced recruitment posters. Muscular, determined, with the words, "American courage," it was the face of bravery. It was no longer a gladiator, it was a patriot. Artists and politicians began to raise pit bulls. And Hollywood, always hungry for symbols of strength and charisma, couldn't resist. In the 1920s, a pit bull named Petey became a celebrity as the mascot of the children's series The Little Rascals. There he was, alongside young children, a former fighting dog, now a cinematic nanny. From the ring to the living room, from violence to tenderness, the public fell in love. For decades, the pit bull was considered the American family dog. But fame is a treacherous coin, and the higher the pedestal, the harder the fall. Comment below, do you think fame helped or harmed the true essence of this breed? 1980s, United States. Fear finds a new face. With the rise of gang culture, drug trafficking, and urban violence, the pit bull ceased to be a mascot and became a weapon. Criminal factions adopted the breed as a symbol of power, trained to intimidate. These dogs, often abused, isolated, and provoked, became living extensions of urban terror. The media, hungry for headlines, embraced the chaos. Isolated attacks were turned into epidemics. Dogs mistaken for pit bulls, often of other breeds, were all lumped together, the monster bag. And so, the pit bull, once a babysitter for movie children, began to grace newspaper covers as an uncontrollable predator. Laws emerged. Swift, severe, desperate, breed-specific legislations. BSLS banned pit bulls from entire cities. Thousands were euthanized simply for being born with the wrong look. Sanctuaries, rare. Shelters, overcrowded. The breed was, for decades, the most abandoned in the United States, and in many countries it still is. But it wasn't genetics that killed, it was humans. Irresponsible breeding, abandonment, ignorance, all ingredients of the true tragedy. The pit bull didn't change, it remained loyal, playful, attentive, but now, it lived with an invisible sentence, prejudice, and like all prolonged pain, this left real scars. The pursuit of strength and extreme aesthetics resulted in lineages with serious health issues. Hip dysplasia, heart problems, severe skin allergies. All in the name of an invincible dog ideal. In the end, it was just a dog, wanting to run, to sit by your side, to have a name, not a label. This story of resilience needs to be known. Share this with someone who's passionate about animals. A dog forged in war needs peace to thrive. The pit bull carries in its body and soul the marks of centuries of selection for physical endurance. And extreme focus, ignoring this is ignoring its origin. It's not a couch dog, it's an ancestral. Athlete. Daily physical activity is more than a recommendation, it's medicine. Runs, hikes, fetch games, pent-up energy turns into frustration, and frustration turns into destructive behavior. But just as important as the body is the mind. The pit bull needs mental challenges, interactive toys, positive training, simple tasks like fetching objects or following commands. It loves to work. It's as if it still quietly waits for a purpose. In feeding, extra care is needed. Its robust genetics require balanced, protein-rich nutrition, but without excesses that feed heart predispositions and the skin. Despite its tough appearance, the short coat hides vulnerabilities. Allergies are common caused by food, fleas, or even cleaning products. An attentive guardian spots early signs, itching, redness, hair loss. Finally, the invisible care, emotional. The pit bull forms deep bonds. It suffers with absence. It feels rejection. It doesn't forget. Unstable environments, harsh punishments, or isolation hurt it more than most dogs. Honoring the pit bull is respecting its origin, caring for the body history sculpted and the heart that survived at. 10 commandments to honor your pit bull's soul. 1. Never deprive it of movement. It was forged in the fire of endurance. A still pit bull is a soul in suffering. 2. Socialize early. The world sees it as a threat. Teach the opposite with controlled, positive, consistent exposure. 3. Be its leader, not its tyrant. Obedience doesn't come from force, it comes from trust. And it needs to trust to follow. 4. Stimulate its mind every day. Fights train it to think on the move. Today, it needs puzzles, commands, and games to stay balanced. 5. Touch its skin often. It seems like armor, but as sensitive as paper. Allergies and skin conditions emerge quietly. 6. Monitor its heart, literally. Heart problems are a genetic legacy. Checkups save lives. 7. Don't leave it alone for long. It was shaped to be close to humans. Solitude for it is torture. 8. Defend it with knowledge. When they say it's dangerous, respond with facts. The pit bull needs guardians who fight with words. 9. Never use it as a symbol of strength. It's not your armor, it's your friend, your dog, your mirror. 10. Look into its eyes every day. Where the world saw savagery, you'll see only one thing, loyalty. It was born to fight, but it chose to love. The pit bull isn't what they made it, it's what it became, despite everything. Behind the powerful jaws lies a resilient heart, a dog that faced centuries of violence, prejudice, abandonment, and still looks at you with eyes that don't judge, eyes that carry the weight of a history they didn't ask to live. And yet, they trust. The pit bull's legacy isn't in the pits, it's in the living room, beside the couch, in the yard, running alongside a child, in the silent gaze of one who just wants to belong. If you're lucky enough to share your life with one, know this, it doesn't need your pity, it needs your understanding. Because every pit bull that walks beside us is a triumph of tenderness over trauma, of choice over creation. And, above all, of loyalty over legacy. Which part of the pit bull's journey impacted you the most? And which breed would you like our next investigation to uncover? Share your suggestion in the comments.